I'd have a bit of a tea and a chat with you about an issue that is very close to my heart and has been in the news a few times in recent weeks. Firstly, last week I read about the case of a young boy called Seven Bridges. He lived in the United States and is alleged to have taken his own life as a result of bullying he received because he has a colostomy bag. Now I have a colostomy bag as well. I also have a urinary catheter that has a bag. And I had my bags in my adult life, and I've always been very grateful in that sense that I avoided having to experience continence management products in the context of my school life, and I'm immensely proud of the children that I see on our support group page who go to school handling their bags very, very, very well. They don't seem to let things get them down, and a lot of them have recently come out in support of young Seven Bridges to try and raise awareness of the issues children who have colostomy bags and other disabilities that are perhaps unseen, and also that are to do with things like bodily functions that we don't often talk about as a society, and that we are almost sort of taught to laugh about in some context or another. Young Seven had his colostomy as a result of Hirschsprung's disease, I think. So he'd endured several surgical procedures and had gone through so much. And in the end he felt so pushed and sort of humiliated that he couldn't see any means of going on. Now, I experienced bullying as a child. As many of you know, I've got cerebral palsy, and I also have dyslexia, which these days is called a learning difference. And I, unlike many children today, went to a special school for people with physical disabilities and other chronic illnesses. And I was bullied both by staff members at my school and also by other children who perhaps didn't understand my learning difference, who were dealing with their own disabilities, and maybe it made them feel stronger and better to pick on a difference that they weren't experiencing themselves. What I want to try and get out with this video is that now, because we routinely mainstream children with severe chronic illnesses and disabilities, I want to make sure that these children with disabilities come across in their educational and wider social lives, have a sort of greater understanding and knowledge and empathy for what those around them go through. I can't imagine for 1 minute that the children who bullied and teased this young man in the United States, allegedly anyway, meant for it to go so far that it pushed this young man to take his own life. But bullying can be a very insidious thing, particularly when you're a child, because time is so much more of a lengthy thing. One school year to the next can seem like an eternity. So a period of bullying can feel like it goes on for much longer than it does, and you don't necessarily see an end to this period in your life. And many people say bullying can make a person stronger, but I don't think this is the case. I think for many reasons, people who are bullies are experiencing problems themselves, like the people who bullied me, and they want to have a sense of power and to at least think that they aren't going through something that somebody else is. But I think there needs to be a sort of wider curriculum about, we talk a lot about disability awareness in the modern culture, but we tend to focus perhaps on things that we can see, like people in wheelchairs, crutches, braces and things, but we don't talk about things that we necessarily don't see, but that can cause severe embarrassment in daily life. For example, those who have a colostomy bag or a catheter that may leak, and something that is intensely socially a private thing can become very public and very sort of it's very sort of acutely embarrassing, particularly, like, for example, I've been in hotels and my bags have leaked all over floors and beds and bathroom floors, and you have to go and tell hotel workers what's happened, and that's embarrassing enough for me as an adult. I mean, I don't think I would have coped at all with that kind of thing being a child. And I think that things like colostomies and catheters and more unseen disabilities need to be more discussed and understood in the context of the classroom from the youngest possible age, because within any classroom there's going to be at least one or two children that have some special educational need, and that who may feel embarrassed about the condition they already have, and it can impact on their own ability to learn. So I think it's important for parents to take on board, possibly to discuss different chronic illnesses with children, or to highlight things that people may experience, particularly when they see things in the news, like young 7, not necessarily to discuss things in graphic detail about suicide, but to discuss that perhaps, perhaps children have different problems and illnesses, and we all have to learn to deal with things, and some children have to deal with things that are embarrassing to other people and embarrassing to themselves, but we need to learn to understand that as a community and to deal with it. So it's just something I wanted to say, because I think I think the children who deal with particularly continence aids at a young age are supremely brave, because there are nothing more cruel than children, or there can be nothing more cruel than children, and I want to make sure that some of this cruelty is sort of diluted at least, and that we develop children's understanding and ability to understand one another's point of view. So that's just my video for today. Okay, I'll see you in my next video.